So I want to briefly talk about Uber and Lyft's mask policies and why I think that Uber and Lyft should be doing more to help drivers enforce this policy. A few videos ago, I talked about the driver in New York City who was accosted by a passenger who didn't want to wear a mask. A fight ensued. The driver lost his TLC license and could no longer drive for Lyft. There's a couple things that Uber and Lyft both can do to make sure that drivers don't have to be the ones constantly enforcing the mask rule. The first thing that I think they should do, which they're doing, is they are presenting a message when the person opens the app saying you need to wear a mask. But what's the one thing that they do that they require drivers to do before they start driving, at least on Uber? You have to take a picture of yourself wearing a mask. Now, you can do this and get away with it. Well, this is something that they can do with the passengers. And of course, the passengers could do that to bypass the rules. But another thing that could happen is that they could actually have, how the passengers can choose the safety system where if I drive up, they have to punch in a code. They have to give me a code. Well, another thing that they could do is they could make us verify that the person has a mask on, that they have to put a mask on, take a picture before we can continue the trip. Now, that's going to add to delays, I know, but it's one more step. The third thing that I think they could do is if someone gets reported for not wearing a mask, they can't use the platform for 24 hours. It's that simple. No 3 strikes. No, we'll look into it. If a driver reports that a passenger is not wearing a mask, they cannot use the platform for 24 hours. It seems harsh, but again, drivers are the ones who have to enforce this policy. This is putting drivers in positions that are potentially dangerous. And there's a fourth and a final thing that I think Uber and Lyft can do, is not allow passengers to request a ride for someone else. As it stands on the platforms, you can order a ride for your friend or your family. They need to eliminate that post haste. It needs to be eliminated, because what can happen here is someone can order a ride for their friend or their family member. Their friend or family member doesn't want to wear a mask. And then what happens? Oh, well, I cancel the ride. They report the driver for whatever. Well, they made sexual advances against me. That's why they canceled the ride. All these kinds of things can come up. No, the person who is taking the ride needs to be the one who has the device that requested the ride. Plain and simple. That would be one of the things that would help a lot as well. It would also help for the safety of the drivers. Well, those are my thoughts on this mask thing. I don't think that we should be the ones who should be the sole enforcers of this policy, but Uber and Lyft have put us in that position. So, does that make us employees? Maybe it does. My name is John from Ride Upstate. Remember, just because you live in a small market doesn't mean you have to settle for small profits.